Hey there, and welcome. We're about to dive into this incredible, timeless story about a guru who laid out an amazing framework for building mental strength. And you know what? These rules are just as powerful today as they were hundreds of years ago. So let's get right into it. Okay, so picture this. We're in an ashram, and there's this disciple, Rajbant, who asks his teacher a question. A question I think every single one of us has asked ourselves. In a world that's so tough, how do we actually become mentally stronger? And the guru's answer? It starts with something so simple yet so profound. He says, look, your mind and your body, they're not separate things. Your mind is literally the power source for your body. Your thoughts, that's the fuel, and it can either power you up or drain you completely. So here's how we're going to break down his wisdom. We'll start with the core idea, his whole philosophy. Then we'll jump into his 8 rules, splitting them into 2 groups of 4. And finally, we'll see how you can start using all of this. Sound good? All right, so first up is the foundation. The guru's biggest point is this. There's a direct, almost instant connection between what you're thinking and how much energy you have. It's that simple. Let's really dig into what that means. You know, the guru had a great way of explaining this. Think about it for a second. Remember a time you were stuck on something sad or negative. How did your body feel? Heavy, right? Drained. Now flip that. Think of something you're genuinely excited about. You feel that jolt, that rush of energy? It's the same body. The only thing that changed was your thoughts. This is huge. It means if you want to control your energy, you've got to start by controlling your thoughts. Okay, so now that we've got that core principle down, the guru rolls out his 8 practical rules. Think of it as his roadmap to mental strength. Let's jump into the first 4. Right, so these first 4 rules, they're all about how we see the world and how we react to it. It's about building that solid internal foundation before we do anything else. So for the first rule, the guru asks this really simple question. He says, can you make the sun rise in the west, or can you stop the monsoon rains? Obviously, the answer is no. And he says the past is exactly the same. You can't change it. So why waste all that mental energy worrying about it? It's like trying to change the seasons. It's pointless. Instead, he says put all of that power into the one thing you can control, what you do right here, right now. Next up, rule 2. The guru brings up Gautama Buddha. Buddha didn't find enlightenment through some fancy, complicated ritual, right? He did it through meditation. And the guru says that is the ultimate tool for a calm mind. It's how you learn to just watch your thoughts come and go without letting them run your life. It gives you focus, and it puts you back in the driver's seat. Okay, rule number 3. This one can be a tough pill to swallow, but it is so important. The guru says that expecting things from other people is basically a recipe for disappointment. I mean, think about it. You can't control what other people do or say, so when those expectations crumble, and they often do, it hurts a lot. It's great to have high standards for yourself, but when you put them on others, you're just setting yourself up for pain. And that leads us straight into rule 4. The guru's take on this is that the fear of failing is actually way worse than failing itself. Fear is like this little monster that just eats away at your confidence. It paralyzes you. And that doubt? Well, it can actually cause the very failure you're afraid of. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah, the guru puts it so bluntly. If fear rules over you, you will surely be unsuccessful. It's that simple. If fear is calling the shots, success just isn't on the table. So the real first step to achieving anything isn't even the action itself. It's beating back the fear that's stopping you from taking that action. All right, we're halfway there. Now let's get into the final 4 rules. These are all about looking inward, about how you see yourself, how you manage your energy, and how you build up that unbreakable inner strength. Yeah, this next set really turns the focus back on us. It's about learning how to be your own biggest supporter on this journey. So to explain Rule 5, the guru tells this little riddle, and I'm going to ask you the same question he asked his disciples. Imagine there's a race to the top of a mango tree. Who's going to get there first? Pretty obvious, right? The monkey and the squirrel would be up there in no time. But the elephant? No way. So the guru asks, should the elephant feel bad about it? Should it blame itself? Of course not. An elephant isn't built for climbing trees. It has its own incredible strength, its own purpose. And that's the whole point. Stop beating yourself up for not being good at things you were never meant to do. Find what you are good at, your unique talents, and focus on that. Rule 6 is super simple but absolutely crucial. Think of your energy, both mental and physical, like money in a bank account. It's finite. You only have so much. And every bit you waste on pointless arguments or on people who drain you or just on worrying about stuff you can't change, that's energy you can't invest in your own goals. So you got to protect it. Be smart about where you spend it. All right, rule 7 is all about trusting yourself. The guru says, yeah, listen to what other people have to say. Take in their advice. But when it comes down to it, the final call has to be yours. Why? Because nobody, and I mean nobody, knows you better than you know yourself. You know what you're capable of. You know your limits. So trust that inner voice. And finally, we have rule 8, speak less. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be totally silent. It's about being more intentional with your words. The guru's logic is that talking all the time just burns through energy you could be using to think. When you speak less, you automatically start listening more, observing more. Your mind has the space it needs to go deeper and actually find solutions instead of just reacting. And that's it. That's the guru's lesson. He's given us these 8 powerful, timeless rules. But the key thing to remember is these aren't just nice ideas to think about. They're a practice. They're something you have to actually do. So what does this all add up to? Well, it's 8 concrete, actionable rules for building a mind that's genuinely resilient. A mind that can handle whatever life throws at it, not just with strength, but with a bit of grace too. Okay, let's do a quick fire round of all 8 rules one more time. 1. Focus only on what you can control. 2. Meditate. 3. Drop the expectations you have for other people. 4. Conquer your fear. 5. Stop blaming yourself. 6. Guard your energy. 7. Trust your gut. And 8. Talk less, think more. So, the guru's wisdom is now on the table. It's been passed down. Now the only real question is for you. Take a look at this list. Which one of these rules is jumping out at you right now? Which is the one you're going to start with today?